What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Citizen Talk. I said that very weird. Welcome to Citizen Talk, episode 16, first episode of the new year. I am Evil Tactics, your host, joined with me to my right, Mr. Blue Knight, your co-host for this episode and any episode coming up. How you doing, Knight? How was your New Year's?
I was going to come out and be like, I'm just fantastic. Make you feel a little less awkward.
Right, so welcome.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Got a lot in my mind. It's got Org Night coming up. We got a good episode coming up. Yeah, I've got a lot coming up this week. You said I'm on your right, but the funny thing is I'm looking at Citizen Talk right now. I am in fact on your right on the screen, but over here on the original camera preview, I'm on your left. So I'm like, wait a minute. He's messing with me. He's messing with me.
Hey, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I was gonna say, when you go live later on, change your episode number. You're 2 behind.
Yeah, I'm on what the heck was last night? Was that
102?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 103.
It's like 102.
I need to change that.
1002.
It's 1002. Yeah, I might actually knock that thing out because I want to put my sword back up there. And that thing's a pain in the butt because those numbers aren't even. They're not even the right size.
Can't mount it to your wall behind you because that looks like that's plastic or sound matting.
Is. I'd have to this thing, this follow me sign here. It's actually hanging up by white string, so you can't. So you can't see the white string, but it's hanging.
I love it.
So in order to hang anything off the wall, you have to literally nail something about, let's see, it's about 3 or 4 feet higher and then string it. So yeah.
See, I can't do that. My ceilings are concrete, so I have to drill. So I have a lamp actually above me that I finally put in after 10 years of being here, and just to add a little more light in this room.
Yeah.
And I had to drill into the concrete. And I'm just like, no, I'm not doing this again. But, okay, so 2025 has come and gone. I know some people are sad. Others like us are excited because 2025 was a very big year for Star Citizen.
Was it?
Honestly, I think it was the best year they've ever had.
Sarcasm, sorry.
Yeah, well, considering you've only been in the game a year, coming up on a year, I mean.
Well, even that given, I'd still understand that it's been huge.
It has. It's been a big deal.
Something exciting that happened to me. I had the Star Citizen page, the official CIG Twitch page, follow me on Twitch. And one of the first things I said is I'm excited for 2026 because of everything that I've seen them improve it and add and everything for 2025. So yeah, it's what you're saying is true. So sorry.
No. I mean, it's been a hell of a year. I mean, I can't say anything more than that. I mean, you look at everything we've gotten this year. I mean, shit. 2025. What happened in Star Citizen in 2025 that is not what the developers did? We've met new friends. We've started new journeys together. We're both a part of a massive org, probably not as big as some of the orgs that are out there, but we are both a part of an org. Our bank accounts have felt the Star Citizen pull, but I mean, yeah, it was a fun year. Couple
It really
IRL
was.
stuff for me kind of went to shit, but that's life. If it could ever be as simple as playing a video game, that would be wonderful, but that's not real.
I think a couple of things in Star Citizen also went too, but
Yes. Yeah, Star Citizen did have itself a little bit of a rough year at first, but at the same time, CIG did some pretty momentous, I want to say, sprints this year. I mean, 2025 and CIG record was a massive sprint. I mean, let's see. They had 11 patches. Got like 90 new POIs, things like that. But before we go down the list of what they released, was there anything in 2025 that you wish they would have released besides the Ironclad?
Well, I need to preface this with the Ironclad. Obviously, everybody wants. We want it. You want it. I want it. They want it. We all want it. I didn't really want that ship badly until really when Invictus rolled around and it became available to pledge.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, I started playing Star Citizen, started backing that game in February last year. Didn't really have many expectations for it. Starting to learn it, brand new to the game, so I didn't know what Star Citizen was all about. Each month for the first, I'll say up until September, I was learning new things like every month. First month was, when did I jump in? I think I jumped in
February.
I wasn't towards the resource drive, not the most recent resource drive, but the Copper Corundum one. I think that was a month after I joined, right?
No, we did that together.
Well, yeah, we did, but it wasn't like right away because I remember
was
you and Optics hopping in.
So yeah, no.
Was it February?
Yeah, I think it was February. The resource drive was February, I want to say. Yeah, because January was Yeah, January was Pyro and the fight for Pyro. That was the first major event we got in 2025. Then it was, I think the resource, then it was fight for Stanton. You know what? Yeah, you might be right. That might have been March.
I think it was March because when I started playing, I was still settling into my first home site was Area 18. I didn't know that mining had existed. I didn't know that salvage had existed. Well, scratch that. I knew salvage existed because one of my friends, the guy who got me into Star Citizen, that's one of the things that he did to pass time. And I remember you and Optics, at least Optics, coming into my stream going, "Hey, what ships are you trying to get?" And I was working on getting the Freelancer Max so that I could run cargo. And my original game package ship was the Cuddy Black. And it's a good ship, but it only carries like 36 SCUs or 42 SCUs of cargo, and running some of the cargo missions that you need to really get your rep going, 36 just doesn't cut it. So I was building up to the Freelancer, and then I was going to take the Freelancer, build that up to a C2, and I also wanted to try mining and salvage in between. So I think I went from cargo to salvage because the second ship I bought was the Vulture. Scratch that. The second ship that Optics bought for me was the Vulture. And then I ended up getting a Prospector and building up eventually to a C2. So I didn't really have many expectations on what I wanted to see. I was still exploring the game so much. But later on in the year, as I got to see all the different game loops, I think the thing that resounded with me the most when it came to what I wanted from the game was, and this is kind of like off in left field, but I wanted some of the stuff to just stay put for a minute. you know?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I am excited and looking forward to base building. That is on like up at the top of the list. Crafting is exciting. We got engineering, which we'll talk about a little bit. Or we'll talk about a lot in a little bit. But I am like the number one thing that I'm excited to see overall, and this is going to be a 1.0 thing because they're going to be changing things constantly until 1.0 comes out.
Yes.
Is it was frustrating when a new patch came out and things that I had gotten used to over the previous month, and I was like, yeah, I can enjoy this. I can do this. This is my grind. They went away after the next patch pushed through because CIG has to test different things and they got to see if different game loops fit in with other game loops, and they've got to create scenarios that is this going to crash the system if we do this. So for example, ERTs and HRTs, all the cargo and from those ships and those missions, it's all gone. There's boxes or loot boxes from the mercenary and bounty hunter missions where you go down in these bunkers and search for loots. That's gone, but they've moved to different locations. If the highly sought after loot boxes went from those bounty and mercenary bunker missions to Hathor and Onyx and Lazarus, and then what was the other thing I just said? I just had it and it slipped my mind, but that was the most frustrating thing for me, is getting to find a loop that you liked and then it changed the very next patch. So out of anything, I am looking forward to consistency out of anything else, but obviously not forgetting about base building, crafting, etc. So
Yeah. That's actually 100% true, because that was one of the things that me and you have mentioned quite a few times, in just talking with the guys and org mates and all that, is the ERTs. Like one of the fun things that we used to love doing is we'd go out, in our Connies or combat aircraft, whether I was in my Hornet and Blue might be in his Polaris, or we're in Optixes, and we're just killing these bounties, and then we're taking, anywhere from, and we're doing this for an entire play session, and we're just grabbing everything off these Caterpillars, Hammerheads, 890s when the elevator worked, and just taking whatever we can, and this is how we're making our money in the game. And then all of a sudden, after the I want to say it was after the resource drive, the final push with mainly the copper and corundum one, after that, the cargo just disappeared from these ships, because that's how we were out there doing it. We were going and we were grabbing all the copper, all the corundum, off of these Caterpillars, the C2s, and then we were grabbing whatever else is worth, some of the drugs and whatnot, anything we could sell to make a profit besides completing those missions in the resource drive we were doing. And to see that disappear was kind of aggravating, because it was a game loop that we actually enjoyed doing, and we lost that game loop. And it hasn't come back. And part of me, when you were mentioning the bunkers, I'm wondering if they're reworking it as it's part of the Mission 2.0 release that's supposed to come out probably in 2026. We don't know, because 2025 was very content driven, which is funny because, they state that it was the year of playability and stability, but at the same time, I hate to say this to CIG, but your year of stability kind of went down the window when every patch you released broken elevators or broken cargo grids or something along those lines. Like when we had to do the when they released the raft, we had that event going on, and well, sorry, what they didn't release the raft, they redid the cargo grid on the raft, and we had that event going on to where we couldn't send down more than things stacked single high on a cargo grid until the end of the patch when they finally hotfixed, and then because we always got elevator overloaded. Well,
yeah,
you know, when you got C2s coming in that are stacked to the gills with cargo, and you've only got 2 elevators at a location, maybe 4 depending on the location, you're looking at a lot of ships taking up cargo elevators. And when you got to offload a C2 and you got to do everything one stack only, I mean, hell, it took 20, 30, 40 minutes just to get everything offloaded and then on the elevator and sent down to complete. That was aggravating as all hell. So while they did give us a lot of content, you know, we got all these new events, we got all these new ships. A lot of the stuff was just broken from the get-go, and part of that was they were redoing the elevator refactor, whether it's the transit elevators or the cargo elevators. They seem to have smoothed out a lot of that. I haven't had an issue with a transit elevator since... what, 4.2 maybe? No, 4. One of the 4.1s, I think. 4.1.0 or something like that. So it's gotten better. But yeah, because let's see, 4.0, 4.0.1, 4.0.2. I want to say 4.0.2 because I think 4.1, which was March 27th's update, we got Fight for Pyro, I think. Because then it was like every 4.2, 4.3, 4.4. These were the other major gameplay loops that they were putting out, part of the storyline, all leading up to the words are hard.
Words.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
The respawning. I'm just gonna say respawning. The regen. Sorry, that's the word I was looking for. The regen crisis. You know, so it was a good year. Like Blue said, a lot of the game loops that we were enjoying are gone, and now we're having to find new ones. And I get it. You know, they want to bring more people to Hathor. They want to bring more people to these ASD locations, these Onyx facilities, to the Worm. But don't take it away from the other game loops that maybe people who don't want to do Hathor and that don't want to do the ASD locations, don't force someone to do something they don't want to do. You know?
That's the downside, though, of a early access / alpha game, because if you're constantly testing stuff, you're going to... you have to change it because you have to be able to test it. And if you have people that are... they get stuck in a game loop, or they're like, hey, this is what I want to do, which isn't a bad thing, don't get me wrong. Like, when you find something that you want to do in the game, awesome, but people are going to find what they want to do and they're going to stay there. They're not going to move around the rest of the game. I can see that they're actually forcing people to try different things with the changes, which I completely understand from like a development aspect, where they need the testing, because we see it. Just take the PTU and the live servers, for example. We've got a lot of issues with PTU because not enough people are testing and playing the PTU. It's kind of the similar concept. If one game loop in live, for example, is the PTU, and then another game loop, the one that they need tested, is live, they gotta force everybody that's stuck in the PTU to move over to the other version. I think I could have worded that a bit differently, but
it's kind of like what they did with 4.0. You remember when 4.0 first came out, you had the preview channel then you had your live. So anything you did in the preview carried on when 4.0 went live. I think they need to do that more often. You know, instead of opening up the PTU branch, open up a preview channel and just let people know, hey, whatever you do in here will carry over. You know, meaning items you get, reputation you get, things like that will carry over, not the money. Money's a whole nother problem that we'll get onto here shortly. But if they open up the preview like they did with 4.0, I think you'll actually get a lot of these bugs over, because we all saw it when the 4.0 preview came out. The 4.0 live branch, or sorry, the 3.24, which was the current build that was stable enough and that predated 4.0, was still running. That server kind of went dead. There was a handful of people over there. And then most of the people were in 4.0 preview to see what we were getting, what was coming down the pipeline. And then everything carried on over when they finally went, nope, all right, this is now live. So I think doing it that way, they might actually alleviate these. There are not enough people doing it, because part of the problem is you've got these evocati. The first typical couple patches in a PTU patch note are NDA. They can't live stream it. They can't talk. I mean, they can talk about what they're doing, but they can't show anything. Honestly, stop that, because I think you've got enough people that are out there that are watching these other, you know, podcasts and these other channels that cover all of this, and that's taking the wind out of the sails.
Yeah. You know, I get wanting to keep the allure and the secrets and I shouldn't say secrets, the surprise of it all. I think, like, I understand wanting to keep that part of it, you know, close knit and not letting everything out, but it all comes out so quickly anyway.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know how many times I've been waiting for a patch, and I'm sitting there day one, and we get into live. I've updated my game, and members of the org are like, yeah, we've already done this, we completed it all. And I'm like, it's day one, like, how am I supposed to discover anything when you've already done it all elsewhere?
Yeah, so and that's a pain.
Surprises is not really.
Yeah, well, and that's the biggest problem that I have with being a content creator. And then when the org wants to get into it, and everyone just goes, you know, crazy, and they, you know, and we rush through these new areas, it's like, it's not fun for viewers. You know, for people who maybe are thinking about getting the game and are unsure of it, and they're watching streamers like me and Knight and, you know, anyone else in the org that's a streamer, and we're rushing through it. You know, they're not actually seeing us fight to make it through it. You know, they're not seeing the nitty gritty of these new locations, or you know, some people like. When you're trying to do an event and it's taking 2 hours to set up the event, like, that's rough on a content creator. Because for people like use, what was it? What were we doing a couple weeks ago? Oh, when we were going to jump over to Nick's, it's probably about a month ago, and a lot with the Wicklow Idris. That took forever. Like, once we got the 890 in there, you know, a couple of us got the audio bugs and whatnot, and it's just like, we're jumping in ships we know have an issue at the moment to try and get somewhere, and knowing it's going to crash us out. It's just like, really?
Yep.
Like, the 890's one, the Polaris is one, the Idris is one. Like, if it's one person in the Idris, you're not going to crash out. But the second, for some reason, you get multiple people in these ships, the audio system just overloads itself. And, like, it's... Like, if I was a viewer, I would have clicked off already, seeing someone struggling all this time. I'd go to something a little more action-packed, and, you know, that's something that's actually going to draw my attention in. But, yeah, I mean... If they continue the cadence they did in 2025 and 2026, I think we'd be in a pretty good spot as long as they've learned their lessons of we can't release broken patches. Especially if it's an event.
Well, I think they've already done that in some senses, because we've seen some of the conversations that they've had with like Sitcon and what was the other one? A whole lot of ship talk or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're like, yeah, we like if we push a patch, we're like, if we got a patch, we're gonna push it, but we will withhold stuff that is breaking the patch. Which isn't the greatest solution, because then we're missing some of the content that goes along with it. But at least they're not going, okay, this is completely broken, we're gonna push it anyway and try to like muddle through it. And I'd love to see what it's like on their side from their perspective when they're actually pushing this stuff, and if they're like, yeah, this is ready to go and it's all good to go, and what they're seeing before they're shipping it. And I wonder if it's like one of those moments like, yeah, this is working beautifully, this is perfect, and then they send it out to live and all of a sudden they're like, what the heck went wrong? It's almost like that happens every single patch, where something goes wrong that they weren't anticipating, and then they got to go back and fix it.
Yeah,
which makes us in turn think like, why are they releasing patches that are broken? Like, maybe they're not broken to them.
Well, and I think that's part of the problem is that this goes back to the whole PTU, is they're not broken on the PTU, and then once they go to live, where you've got 500 people, 600 people on a shard, and you know, you think about it, they got what, 6 million and change accounts in Star Citizen now. How many do we really think are not in the game? I want to say,
for a fact that 2 of them aren't.
yeah, I want to say that most of them are probably in the game. Let me pull up the exact numbers. This is off that one funding page. So according to the funding page, there's 6.2 million. And according to RSI, I gotta go funding, where are you? There it is. Yeah, so the numbers are 2,000 off on these two websites. But so according to our size, there's 6.2, 6,207,000 new or total citizens in the game. So how many of those numbers are not actually playing the game every month or every day? I don't know. Let's just give them, let's say 30% of those, 20% of those aren't actually playing. Everyone else is actually out there playing, because you think of how many servers they have, and 600 people per server or per shard, gotta think there's probably a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, they want to do something right, they got to continue it, and they've done pretty well. I mean, hell, their numbers don't lie from last year to this year. They didn't kill December's numbers, sadly. Last year they made 19 million. In December they only made 15 million. I mean, that's still a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, they made $155 million this year versus last year's of 116. So it's just one of those things. Stop it. Freaking cat.
Cat again? I was going to say the cat.
Yeah. All up my ass. Hey, stop attacking me.
Keep attacking him.
No. But with the release of Nyx, what are you excited about in Nyx?
I can't wait to see Gen 5, so Genesis, come out. I can't wait to see some of the planets come out. The footage they show in Sitcon, that with the planets looking the way they are, I mean, I've seen Bloom and Pyro, and I absolutely love flying around that planet. I want to see more.
I'm gonna need more VRAM.
If like, yeah, I know, right? Glad I got my computer updated when I did. Yeah, I wanna see the planets. I want to see base building. I know the org's gonna have their base, but I think it would be really cool to have my own little Mr. B Knight's like one-stop shop or whatever.
Oh, 100%. I'm gonna have my own little. I'm gonna carve out my own little piece of land out there because no offense to the org, I don't want to be around you assholes all the time. I do want.
Yeah, no.
I mean, as I'm sitting here wearing org merch, but like, yep. I'm not looking to be stuck at one base. I want to play that game loop. I want to, whether it's me and you going out, mining these materials, salvaging this stuff from ships, whatever, if they bring that back, cool. But like, yeah, I want to actually do the game loops to build my base and to have that fun. And you want to know what I'm excited for with Nyx? I want that new combat mission. The fleet combat ops.
Oh yeah, the strategic strike group.
Yeah, but I can see one thing that's going to hold them back from releasing that, and that's the audio bug.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
Because no one's going to be able to multi-crew the Perseus. I mean, you want to talk about a ship you cannot multi-crew that was just released? That's it. A brand new ship to the game.
That's not even that big.
No, it's not. It's got 2 main gunners, 2 more seats on the bridge. Like, you're killing us here with this inability to do things with these ships that you just release. And I mean, I'm sure if you have 1 or 2 people on it, but like, I hate the fact that when our game locks up. I mean, thank God we're on separate, streaming systems and whatnot, so it doesn't actually kill the stream. But imagine if you were streaming off one system and gaming on one system and it just hard locked it.
Like, be right back, guys. I'm gonna have to go shut down my stream and my game. I'll be back in a minute. Don't go anywhere.
I do not miss those days. Oh my god.
I am so glad that I sometimes I freak out too, like, because I'm still used to having. Well, scratch that. I just forget that I'm running on 2 PCs, one streaming, one gaming, and if the game locks up, I'm like, crap. Hold on, guys. I'll literally have to reset everything. I'm like, no, I just have to reset my gaming PC, thankfully. But for those who don't have 2 PCs or whatever, they have to shut down everything, and it's
Well, and like,
and with that strategic strike group, before I forget this thought, in the video that they show, it's not Perseus is flying around. It's not most of the common ships that we see. It's Polarises and Idrises that are flying around. There's actually there's a friend. If you don't have an Idris, there's a friendly Idris out there that you can actually go into. And if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, you're able to repair and rearm in that Idris to go out and fight again.
I think they did show something like that, which that's another thing they have to get up and going before they release that, is the ability to rearm and whatnot from our ships.
But the point is, like, it's the ships that are out there and the ships that they showed in the game, not the gameplay footage, but the preview to it, they're not small ships that we're using to go in, because the space stations that we're going to have to go infiltrate, they're armed with capital ship killing weapons.
Yeah. which is going to be an interesting first look on some of these capital ship weapons, because I haven't asked this question, and this has been burning at the back of my mind, is will we be able to have capital size defenses on our bases? Like, if you get the Org space station, will you have the ability to have that capital killer turret on?
I imagine at some point you would be able to, but it's like that would have to be something that you really, really, really have to work hard for, and it's not cheap.
Yeah, and it can't be something you get from fucking Wicklow. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
While Wicklow is fun and all, because it makes you grind to have to do. Well, sorry, it makes people like Blue over here have to grind to get something.
Yeah.
Because this man over here is a freaking machine when it comes to it. But yeah, I mean, it's going to have to be one of those. Either it's going to be stupid expensive, like it's going to cost tens or hundreds of billions of credits just to get that, which we know, you know.
In today's economy, that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, that needs to be fixed. But one of the other things was what I'd be excited for in that is, like, that'll give an org the perfect chance to have your multi-fighters out there, your support ships like your Perseus and your Polaris, and then, you know, all defending what more or less is your fully loaded Idris that's got multiple ships on the deck waiting to go out. You're going to have to protect that ship because that's your respawn. That's how you're going to get back into the fight, to be able to make these tunnel runs and do all this stuff. So I'm excited for that whenever that does come out. What was the other thing I was going to say? I lost my train of thought.
Don't worry, I've been doing that multiple times already. As we're doing this, I'm actually trying to prep for Org Night, and I'm thinking here, like what we're supposed to do. And I've got this death wraith idea, but one thing that I learned from yesterday that I didn't really factor in was Medgel. And I'm playing around with the idea of doing like capture the flag, but if we do capture the flag, I'm going to have a medical officer on a ship that has a tier 1 bed constantly refilling Medgel to make sure that it's like ready to go. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm tempted to say, hey, let's just go do what are the missions in Nyx right now? The it starts with an I.
The
intersect missions.
Intersect.
Yeah.
Well, I would say this, and I know, guys, we're getting a little off subject here. You can try maybe Arena Commander, because they got the ground, you know, force way, and you can do, you know, teams. I'm sure there's a capture the flag in Arena Commander.
Yeah, I also want to keep it kind of in the verse, because we're used to doing stuff in the verse too.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm not trying to go like completely off script when it comes to what we do for Org Night.
At least the Arena Commander service seem to always run pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so 2025, we did get Nyx, we did get new locations. We got Levski back, we got the Glacian Belt, which I need to go out there and do some actual mining. Yeah, so we got over 90 new POIs if you include all the Hathor facilities. You got all the Onyx facilities, which are all over Stanton.
Mm-hmm.
We got the ASD facilities, which kind of tie into Onyx. But yeah, I mean, got a lot of game loop stuff that was actually required to do a lot. You know, if you wanted to get your Wicklow, any Wicklow ship, you had to run the Stormbreaker. You had to run Hathor. You know, you had to run Onyx.
Yep.
You know, because it's not just this, oh, you can only run one of these and then go and get the Wicklow ships. You have to go do that. And Funny thing is, might as well mention it here, because I did see that another org has pulled their Wicklow Idris. Is Machina got their Wicklow Idris last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, I am still working on the video because I know it's going to be a long one, but we don't have the, no offense, Machina, we don't have the coordination to do a video like Evenlease does. That man's got some serious coordination from his org. But,
yeah.
So we got ours. As far as I know, we were the third organization out there to get it. So hats off to Machina for getting it, and congrats again to Mr. B. Knight, who was awarded the Machina War or Wicklow War Special Idris.
I think I ended up part of the reason why they did that was two reasons.
Well, you worked your ass off.
First, yeah, that kind of I feel a little bit bad about that because it wasn't necessarily they made the choice. So I've got so many thoughts going through my head right now. So let me start with this. For Machina, I'm a vice admiral, so I'm one of the top, including Chrono, who is the fleet admiral. He's the founder, whatnot. I'm one of the top 4 officers in the group. When it came to deciding who got the ship, we had a meeting. I pretty much was silent the entire time because Chrono started out with the whole spiel, and then it came down to the other guys because he proposed the idea and was like, "This is why X, Y, and Z." What had happened with our organization when it came down to Wicklow was when we went from 4.4 to 4.5. Almost everything that the org had already pulled or accrued for the Wicklow Idris got wiped. Minus some stuff that I actually contributed. I contributed a lot of the recumbents that we needed. Those didn't get wiped, but a lot of the other material did. And out of all the material that we did collect, I was able to recover from my inventory and what I did about 80% of the materials that we needed.
Yeah.
So it kind of, I hate to say this, but it kind of defaulted to me. When it came to like who put in effort and everything. I'm not disregarding anybody else's effort. I understand this is definitely a team effort and a lot of people busted their balls for it. And had they named anybody else, I'd be like, yeah, definitely. If they were deserving of it, go ahead.
Yeah.
One other thing is that I'm loyal to a fault, and I have no intention of leaving or going anywhere anytime soon. I already have. One thing I felt really uncomfortable with is like I already got the Wicklow Polaris, so now I'm holding on to not only one but 2 ships for the org. But then some of the officers made a point that it's not a prize. It really isn't. We're not saying, hey, here's a ship, congratulations, go be free, you can do whatever you want with your life. This is a ship that the org put together. You need to be here for OrgNight. You need to be responsible with the ship. You have to be here. So you're making a commitment.
Yeah.
And that commitment was something I was willing to do. And I'm usually here every weekend, and I'm sitting here still sweating my freaking shorts trying to figure out what we're doing. So as we're sitting here, this is what I'm doing. Not to go off topic, but here, let me. Why is it blank?
I don't know.
I mean, the scene is supposed to be blank, but why is it blank? Hold on.
Night break and stuff. But while you're trying to fix that, no.
There we go. I just had to deactivate and reactivate it.
I'm
pulling up bikes for tonight's org night.
Oh boy.
By the way, these are not duplicated. Each one of these is an individual bike that's in my ASOP terminal right now, and I've got about 40 of these from Wicklow, which is another thing that I'd actually like to see CIG fix is being able to get rid of ships in your ASOP or in your inventory that you don't want anymore. Enough said on that. I'll let you go. Say, do what you're going to do.
You
I'm gonna
are
go back to what I'm doing.
100% right. Any in-game ship you have bought, you should be able to sell in-game.
Even if it's an extremely docked price.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, fuck. What game was that did something like... I don't know. A lot of games have done it. Like, you've crafted something or you've bought something in-game, and, you know, your resale value is like, you might get back a quarter of what it's worth.
Yeah. That is perfectly acceptable. If you sell something for... you buy something for 10 million, 2.5 mil.
Yeah, that's what you're going to get back.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and that's if you're selling it to someone in, you know, to one of the shop vendors. But, like, if you're selling it to another player in game, don't allow someone to go, oh, hey, this ship is, I want 20 million for a ship that's only 10 million in the in-game store. Like, they're going to have to work on something along those lines. And I bet you that's one of the reasons why they haven't done it. Like, it's got to be a thing, CIG. You got to give us the ability to sell ships that are non-pledged ships out of our inventory. Because not only you're creating someone to be able to go down to a specific point on a base that's got a no fire zone over it and start up a store already. Like, it's role-playing. It's MMORPGs. Like, hello. Yeah, but so what you were saying is 100% true, because one of the things that that ship is, it is a commitment. It does make you have to get online and play the game, you know, be there for Org Night. Another point is anyone who was in Knight's stream and saw, to be fair, dude, how much you ground the same thing over and over and over again for at least 10, 15 streams just this year. Yeah, it was at least 10, 15 of your streams. I might be lowballing that, but
so for those Onyx facilities, it's, unless you are speed running it and absolutely giving no craps about, you know, dying and like you're just trying to push through as quickly as you can, which with the NPCs being as high powered as they are now, that's really, really difficult to do. It takes a minimum of 45 minutes to an hour to complete a single Onyx Hyperion mission. And in order to get the Wicklow Idris, you have to do 45 of them. That's 45 hours worth of work for one person.
Yeah.
That's if you're running it solo.
Yeah, and that's no small feat. So them going the way they did it, I understand it. And then, of course, with the patch wipe, you know, because they still haven't figured out the inventory issue with the persistence on, you know, patch to patch, which is one thing that they said they want to work on. I couldn't see them going any other way, to be completely honest. But yeah, so Machina, at least we know of right now, is the third org to pull that. We did ask CIG when they were in his stream, like, hey, can you tell us how many have actually pulled this? Like, give us a little bit of a breadcrumb here, and it was crickets. But, yeah, I mean, okay, so we already went over the 90 POIs. We really haven't gotten to mess around with engineering much, folks, and that's just because it's been crazy. The biggest problem is these massive ships that have engineering are all having, my hair is all fucked up, are all having major audio bug issues, so we haven't really had a chance to test it. But I did set my Perseus on fire and die in it, so that was kind of fun. As of 2025 else, God, what do you think of their ship release cadence they did? Almost every patch we saw at a minimum of 2 ships.
Um,
And they were
the cadence was awesome. I try not to get too biased here, but like I really hope that they release the Ironclad and off. Like, they don't wait for Invictus, they don't wait for Fleet Week, they don't wait for like just give us an event that needs the Ironclad and drop it. But that aside, the cadence was awesome. And again, setting aside the fact they changed things so much, the fact that they gave us different game loops, different events, different tasks, different ways of playing the game, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I don't want to, I'm not assimilating Star Citizen to Fortnite at all whatsoever, but you look at games like Fortnite or Call of Duty, every couple months they come out with new content, new seasons where they change the map, they move things around, they give you different weapons, they give you different themed things in the game to go do. Eventually I think that's what it's going to have to come down to, is Star Citizen needs to release content that's going to change every 3 months. And I'm not saying a new patch, well, that's essentially what's going to be, is a new patch or a new season every 3 months. But having new content every month will kind of overwhelm us. Kind of like how I said before, I hated the fact that things change so quickly, but
Yeah.
we're still in alpha here. You have to remember that they're still testing stuff out. So I understand that new content, new tasks to do every month is daunting, a bit overwhelming. For an early access or a pre-release, yes, keep that going, because if you're continuing to push content that quickly, that tells us that you're making progress towards the end goal.
Yeah.
Once 1.0 rolls around, then we can slow down to a patch every 3 months, or as needed when you have bugs and issues you got to fix. Obviously there's going to be things you got to fix with each patch, but once 1.0 rolls around, if there's a new event or something big happens in Stanton or big happens in Pyre or Nyx or whatever it is, only change it up every quarter, because we want time to let it marinate. We want to and another thought came to mind, like, there are orgs out there that are going and doing stuff and getting it done within the first week. Make sure it's something that we can do over those 3 months and we won't get bored of. I do imagine that when 1 rolls around, the PTU will be gone and we won't have the problem of having half the org doing the PTU and the other half the org waiting for live to get pushed to live. So half the org has already done all the game loops, and they're like, okay, now what next? So there's no like, these guys got it done, and then we've got the hurry up and wait people.
Yeah.
I think once 1.0 rolls around and PTU goes away, if that, I really hope PTU does go away. We'll no longer have that issue where, like right now, we get the stuff done within a week and we're like, okay, we're ready for next patch, bring it.
Yeah, which that's, I guess, part of the hardest part of running an org is trying to slow things down, because you don't want to have nothing for the org to do on org night, or be scrambling to figure out what all is going on, so yeah, you do kind of have to think of it in the way of, if you're running an org and you want to keep things interesting and spicy in the org, you gotta, as a singular person might want to go out and run these events in the PTU, you got to think about, well, what about the org? What are we going to do with these guys? Because we can't just bring them all to one location and then quickly go through it.
One of my, well, in real life, my 9-to-5 job is a trainer. It's kind of funny because I'm at like one of those high level positions. I'm a corporate trainer. So anybody that comes in to my place of work for a specific department goes through me first, and I teach them all the things that they need to know about their position before they get released out into the wild. Whenever we have a new patch come through, I know that some of the other officers in the group are like, download the PTU, make sure you understand how this all works. In my real life job, it's also my job to tear apart some of the things that I'm presented or given, or some of the tasks that I've given, to make sure that even though we have the processes in place to take care of what needs to be taken care of, we're not missing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of do the same thing in Star Citizen as I do my real life job, where even though most of the other officers, they'll have the PTU download and they go through everything and they're like, okay, this is how we do X, Y, and Z. I'm like, well, I don't do that because I want to make sure that when we're going through these steps, that we're still exploring, we're still looking to see if there's nothing that we haven't missed. You know?
Yeah, and that's one of the, like, it goes back to trying to run in a org night, or an org, and making sure you don't have anything left behind. And yeah, I can definitely see that. I know you got a lot going on. Let's see. We got 24 new ships. Oh, I mean, you and them damn hover bikes. So we got 24 new ships this year. A lot of them were they weren't backlog either. So people got to keep that in mind. A lot of these new ships were not backlog ships. They were not already pre-promised and whatnot. The Idris was from a very long time ago.
Yeah.
But the Polaris and the Perseus, a lot of these ships were just new ships. Like, hey, here you guys go. I think CIG, hit that one clear out of the park. Their release cadence on ships was great. They also did 11 patches this year. I mean, was I expecting 11 patches out of CIG in 2025? Hell no. Because normally we're going one patch every quarter, almost. That's the old cadence that we used to have. It was every 90 days we had a patch. And now we got a new patch every month. Now, will CIG hold to that cadence? It sounded like they wanted to. But at the same time, can they? Because we got to think of what else is coming out in 2026. Squadron 42 is set to release, and now they did, I think, stick their foot in their mouth a little bit during the last Inside Star Citizen that we saw, where they said they were hoping to meet that 2026 window, but it sounds like they have, because Chris Roberts said himself in his letter to the chairman that all 40, I think he said, it wasn't 40, but all missions, chapters, are playable from beginning to end, and it's over 40 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be, like, I hate to say it, you ain't going to see me for a while. I mean, you'll see me, but you ain't going to see me. Yeah. You'll see me on stream, but I'm going to be lost into Squadron 42 until I beat the damn thing. I mean, I'll be here on org nights, but that's probably really going to be about it, because I've been looking forward to Squadron for since the first trailer dropped. So yeah.
Okay. So to riff off of here, I don't think we have to worry about cadence at all, because we already know that CIG has been working on Star Citizen and Squadron 42 in tandem for years now.
Yep.
And the fact that they've gotten to the point where Chris Roberts himself has said 2026. Now, I'm putting aside all the other times he said, yes, this is a release date. That they've gone on script to say, okay, we're not putting any more release dates or any official dates out anymore. For Chris Roberts himself to come out and say, yes, we're releasing in 2026, I think we're actually going to get it, and that we have no issue with getting content released in Star Citizen the same way we have this last year, because they've been doing the same thing at least for a couple of years now, working on both in tandem.
Yeah.
And the fact that they sped up content in Star Citizen means that they should be in the polished state, like the final polished state of Squadron 42.
Yeah, I think they are in the final polished stages of Squadron 42. I also do. Now, I will say this: has Chris Roberts stuck his foot clear in his mouth in the past with Squadron? Yes, because he originally said Squadron was coming in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are 7 years later, and we still don't have Squadron. But I will say this, and a lot of people keep bringing this up online. Because now we're seeing all these articles coming out, right? Now that it's a new year, all the articles from IGN and all these other, new whatever gaming related news outlets have got to start crapping on Star Citizen again. Oh, they're at they're almost at $1 billion raised and still no game. I've said it in the past, and I'll say it here again, and I'll keep on saying it. The $1 billion is not for one game. They are developing Squadron 42 and Star Citizen side by side. A lot of the tech we are seeing today in Star Citizen is already in Squadron. They're slowly working it over, but the difference is you can't just... This is why Starfield never released a multiplayer version of their game, because it was built as a single-player game.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff for single-player games do not work in the multiplayer aspect. And we see it all the time. We see it in Call of Duty. We see there's things you can do in the single-player campaign of Call of Duty that when you get into multiplayer and you go, this doesn't feel as fluid as it did in the campaign. Well, there were some tweaks done there, and there's a lot of different things that people just have got to remember is that 1 billion is for 2 games. Now, will we see a 1.0 in 2026? I doubt it. I would say maybe 2027, 2028. And I'm just thinking, crap, I'm going to be 40 years old before 1.0 even comes out. But, and honestly, if it's longer, as long as the persistent universe is stable and enjoyable and we get base building, crafting, which is another thing that they said is coming in 2026. It may not be the full release. It's like engineering. We got it now, but it's not the full release of engineering. I think they can do it. I think they can very well do it. It's just one of those things of keeping up with their current cadence and making sure things work. Would I like to see a 1.0 before, in whenever they release Squadron? Yeah, because I think they need it. I don't know how you can tell someone at the end of Squadron, like, hey, go join us and go continue your story in the persistent universe and not have it flushed out and enough content in it and whatnot. So I think they're going to be full steam ahead, both barrels type of thing, because once someone's done with that 40 hours of Squadron, they might come over to Star Citizen to finish it out, because Squadron 42 takes place 10 years before the time in Star Citizen.
Well, isn't that the entire purpose, though? Like, once you're done with your 40 hours, then you have an infinite loop of whatever you want to do in a sandbox mode after that's over. So
yeah,
you have I'm really, best case scenario, you have this fantastic campaign game that you played. You played it for 40 hours, you completed it. If you're a perfectionist, you took all the time in the world to do whatever you need to complete all the challenges and get all the achievements. And then you're like, okay, what next? Well, you've got this world that exists inside of this universe that you can go and just be you.
Yeah.
You can retire in the universe.
Yeah. And it's going to be interesting because we're going to have that ability. At least I hope we do. And I hope they do it right. because 2026 is building up to, well, can build up. I can't say building up, but can build up to be another hell of a year for not only Star Citizen but for Squadron 42.
Sidebar: Organite's it's at 6 p.m. Mountain, right? 7 p.m. Central.
You have another hour.
Okay. I was freaking out because I'm sitting here trying to get all these bikes together. I'm like, oh my God, I've only got like 3 minutes and I got to hop over here and talk to them. And like, I put my alt account in the Machina Discord already. And I was about to say, hey, Drew, I need you to get this stuff together. I'm like, oh, I got a little bit to focus
I can double check in case you're curious, because Chrono made an announcement yesterday saying Organite's in an hour. What time did he post that?
Yeah, we should be good. We should be good, because I remember it being at like it's 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's 5 p.m. my time, or 6 p.m. my time, because of Arizona doesn't observe daylight savings time.
No, you don't. And I wish we didn't either. So sick of it.
Also, because I was multitasking, I don't know if I like completely derailed one of your other topics, because I heard the word cadence and then ships, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep you on talking to this, but I was literally trying to figure out what I was doing. I really hope those ships come out as frequently as they did last year or this year. Yeah, that last year.
Last year. Yeah, now it is last year. Yeah.
Like, we're already 3 days into 2026. Where'd the last 2 days go? Oh yeah, that's right. Been busy.
Yeah, been streaming and doing other things and trying to. What is sleep again? Because apparently my kid has lost the memo on what a damn sleep schedule is.
I'm on the same page. Like, what is sleep, but for a completely different reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope they keep to the cadence. So what else does 2026 have in store for us? Well, there's a couple things that they put out on the roadmap last month before they all went on their Christmas vacation, which they're still on, I think, until like, I want to say next week is the end of their Christmas break. They stated that the inventory system is coming in, and by the end of January 2026, at least that's their initial hopes and dreams of it. And then we've got 2 more things coming at the end of March, and both of those are crafting and another update to engineering, because like we said, this year's engineering that we got is just a snippet of what it's gonna be. I do think it needs a little bit of work. The UI, I think, is just too, like, when you're on the Idris and you pull up the engineering panel, oh my God, trying to figure out what is what and, you know, where things are, it is a little bit of a nightmare. So they need to do a little polishing on that. Maybe remove some stuff, give us more, you know, like points where we can turn things on and off on the screen to make it more easy on the eyes. Because
there's a lot of things they got to work on.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that I've noticed is there's an issue. I don't know if it's I'm pretty sure it's with several ships. The example that I have is with the Asgard. If I get in the Asgard and I fly it somewhere, I park it, I store it, after shutting everything off, it'll get stored, it'll come back up. I get in the Asgard and I have to use the override buttons to get into any of the doors, because all of a sudden there's a power plant failure for no reason. I haven't been shot, haven't run into anything. I shut all the systems down, so there's no reason why anything should be overheated or broken. But still, I'm running into these issues where can't turn anything on. Same thing I ran. So last night during Org Night, I asked Drew. I was like, "Hey, can you in-cap me and put me up into the Mantis?" Because the Mantis, it kind of did the same thing. I brought the Mantis into the Idris, parked it, shut everything off, got out of it, and then after I'd stored the Idris, brought it back up, I couldn't get back in the Mantis because the power systems were just all shut off and there was a power plant failure. I'm like, why is there a power plant failure if everything was off and stored properly? You know, you don't take your computer at the end of the night, shut it down, and go to turn it on and expect something to go like, oh, hey, you might get a warning that says this was improperly shut down or this program was closed. That's software. You don't expect the hardware to go, oh, there's a power failure. Like if that were the case, then we'd not be doing what we do today in today's world of technology. So like why do we have these issues with these ships where we're shutting them down properly and then we come back to them and then suddenly there's a power plant failure? So there's other things in engineering that I've noticed that they need to work on too. Not just UI, but I completely agree with your UI statement.
Yeah, because like one of the things I always do, like if I'm landing whatever ship I'm in inside of the Idris, I never power it down. I'll kill the engines, and that's it. I'll leave the shields up and I'll leave everything else up because, and this is something, and I do that for a specific reason is when me and Optics used to fly around in the Polaris. When the Polaris first released, one of the first things to always get busted open was the hangar door. Mm-hmm. And instead of, so if I power everything down and that hangar door gets busted open and we're still in a firefight, those rounds are now going into the ship that's on the hangar. And it's not protected by its shields. So what I started doing is I would only power down the engines. I'd leave the shields and everything's still going. That gives your ships inside the ship a little added health pool because there were a couple times that when the Polaris blew up, my ship was just floating out there in space. It survived the detonation of the Polaris. I tend to not power anything all the way down. I'm wondering if we need to test that. Don't power everything down, but store it and bring it back up and see if it still does the same thing. If it does, then it's an engineering fiasco that they've done.
And that actually, I have done that before where I'm like, okay, well, if I shut down the entire thing, then I won't do that. But if I just flip my thrusters here. Oh, by the way, no, I won't go into controls. I'm going to sidetrack. I'm like, okay, hold on one moment. I set up a new camera angle today, so I got to show this off.
All right, I'll say you got about 48 minutes to do it, so until the organize starts.
Oh, I froze. Okay, deactivate, reactivate. Hold on, I'm back. Okay, so this is what I'm staring at. Hi, everybody. Over here on my control panel, so I got my flight stick and everything. You can't see the other one, but I got another flight stick over here. I use my Azeron for first person and everything. This is how I control all my power and everything on my ship. I've got a switch right here. It's just got weapon power, thruster power, shield power. So if I want to turn all of them on, flip them all up, push them down to turn them off, and then I've just got all power, which if I flip this switch here, I can show you in a second when I get on this. This is another thing. Like this joystick thing every now and then gets stuck on what's controlling what. Me run out here. This is what I've been doing the entire time while we're doing this, just prepping bikes for Orgnite. This is also another thing I would love to see fixed. Like, what's with the ship being on its side here?
Oh, that has been a ongoing thing forever when it comes to the bikes. Like, another thing, like those bikes, let us pull them up in the cargo elevator. Like they take up maybe 6 SCU long, maybe not 6, maybe like 5. Let us just pull up, like if we want to pull up 5 bikes in the cargo elevator, let us pull up 5. Stop having us have to use the ship elevator. Fuck surgery.
Yeah, being able to pull multiple ships up at the same time would be fantastic.
It would.
Yeah.
But
so flip the switch,
nothing happens quick in Star Citizen.
Nope, it doesn't. So what I've been doing, going back to what we were originally talking about, like now I just flip off thrusters, leave everything else on. So I've been doing it. It seems to work. So it seems to be a workaround for that issue where you keep the system on, you keep the power on. Mm-hmm. All the coolers and everything are still running, but you're turning off the engines, so the ship won't move around and won't.
Yeah, so it seems like it's an issue with the actual something with powering it down. Maybe the power plant doesn't power off all the way when it's in an off state. Maybe there's like some kind of standby mode where without the coolers on, it's just overheating.
Maybe.
That would be my best guess case scenario on that one. But yeah, I mean, shit. What else do you think is, what do you think's gonna, hold on. How can I phrase this? So we know engineering's coming, we know more crafting, and we know the inventory UI, which, God, I'm excited
I'm
for
super
that.
stoked for.
It's needed, and maybe I think that's probably part of the reason we're seeing some inventory bugs. Because side rant here, the other night when me and Knight were doing the Dunlow facilities, or the Dupree facility, was it Dupree? Dupree. I knew it was like something French. The Dupree facilities. Every time I went into, and on the server we're on, every time I went into an inventory box or tried taking something off of a dead NPC, I would crash. Like my game just, nope. And then we switched servers and I was fine. So I don't know if maybe they're already messing with stuff in the inventory on the back end, which for those of you who aren't tech savvy, the back end is all the stuff in the background. You know, so we see the screen, we see all the characters, the back end's all the code. So maybe they're fucking with something, and yeah, well, all right, Bean Flicker. Maybe we're seeing some changes being done on the back end code of the inventory, which is why because they're getting ready. Because, you know, yeah, we're only day 3 into January, and they've got how many days in this month? So, yeah, it's 31. So they've got 28 days to get inventory flushed out before they PTU it or they send us something, because they've been doing most of these patches in the middle of the month.
Yeah, so...
Now, it did say end of January, so I'm wondering if they're going to start going to end of month patches.
Possible. Also, I have a feeling they gave themselves some more wiggle room because they knew that winter break would be coming through and whatnot. So one theory that a lot of us have had, I don't recall, I think you agreed with this to some degree, is that we believe with every patch or every hotfix or whatever's going on, that CIG is doing stuff and testing stuff in live in PTU without telling us.
Yes.
So we were starting to see elements of engineering way before we knew we were seeing elements of engineering. It's only when we were actually paying attention that we were like, well, this is new. And they didn't say anything about it. A couple of examples over the last few months that stand out in my head immediately were I was in my Asgard and my quantum drive would just fail for no reason whatsoever, except
and it wasn't
for it was
a short-term
damaged.
fail either. It was a
hard
fail.
It was a hard fail. And it was repairable. And you know, to some people it worked, some people it wouldn't. So you know, it was kind of like server based and individually. There was updates to some of the ships that were quietly released. For example, Chrono had I just had the name of it. What the heck? The Herald, the Drake Herald. That's supposed to be a data running ship, right?
Yeah.
They quiet released updates to that ship where there's new buttons and things that you can turn the ship into an array that weren't previously there before.
Well,
I think fires were already there, but there's a bunch of different things.
So like for a perfect example on what you're saying, and I agree with you 100% on this actually. And we started noticing this 4.2. I want to say it was right when they released the Idris. Right when they released the Idris is when we, I think, started noticing these, because prior to that, when they first physicalized fuses, we could go up and grab them out of a ship. They didn't do anything. They didn't knock out a system. They didn't knock out power to your ship. When they released the Idris, we found out I think we were on either optics is or your Polaris, we yanked a fuse out and it dropped us out of quantum. And we couldn't reinitialize. And when Knight stole the military Idris from a dude, he's just in there yanking fuses out, and the guy can't. You knocked out his engines, you knocked out his quantum.
I pulled him out of QT, like right out of the planet's surface, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so like we're sitting here going like, wait a minute, this shouldn't be possible. Engineering's not in the game yet, and yeah, there were very small things coming and starting to show themselves. That is the wifey behind me. What are you looking for?
Hi, Sierra.
Bottle's not in here.
It's all blurry back there, so it looks like she's wearing camo pants. I'm like, tell her the camo pants did not work. We saw her 100%.
Blue says with the camera blurred, it looked like you were wearing camo pants. She's got a camo top on, but
okay.
The camo did not do you any justice. He could still see you. But yeah, so like little things like that, and when they changed the inventory system, which came with 4.0. It used to be the old school way where it was just, it showed both inventories on the screen at the same time, side by side, left and right. Then they came out with that new one. And that was when they came out with, it might have been 4.0, 4.0.1. And I'm sitting here going like, what the, like, don't get me wrong, that screen is still jank as all hell. It doesn't work half the time. But that was another change that they did. The shadow patch, and there is a YouTuber out there who goes over the shadow patch notes because he finds all this stuff that was updated and that was not announced originally. Yeah, I would like to see the inventory, if it's coming at the end of the month. Hell yeah, I can't wait to see that because what they showed at SitCon 2024 was amazing. I was just like, it looked so clean, so well done. Like, it looked better than half the inventories you see in out of other games, like Escape from Tarkov, which is another indie developer. It just looked like an inventory system that came out of a, I'm not even gonna say AAA game, but a quadruple A studio.
Yeah,
it just polished and whatnot off what they showed. I'm just like, damn.
Yeah. So building off our theory, with what we've seen in this patch in 4.5, one of the biggest issues that we had at the beginning, and one of the things that they had to fix, or at least whatever poor sap is stuck at CIG offices during the winter break, was the inventory system was not working at all. So the fact that we're seeing so many issues with inventory kind of reinforces our theory that they are working on stuff in the background. And I think they tried implementing some stuff into the current patch for inventory. That's not necessarily visible to us, but it's in the code that they're testing out. And that might have bugged out the system for this patch. And
somebody pushed a button they weren't supposed to push.
That too. Or they just disabled whatever they added in, and they're like, okay, we'll revisit this when we come back. But
yeah,
I have a feeling they've got the inventory UI and everything worked to the point where they'll have it ready by the end of the year. Just again, going back to the whole thing where I say they're working in Squadron 42 and content for Star Citizen. I almost said Citizen Talk in tandem. And I mean, it is content for us because without the game, we can't talk about it. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you nailed that one right on the head. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff being done in the background that we can't see, and I think 2026 is going to be a big year for a lot of people. I know we both want our Ironclad, and I would love to.
It's coming.
If there was another ship I would actually buy, it would be the Shiv.
The Shiv?
Yeah.
Why the Shiv?
I don't know. I like the stuff that looks kind of like steampunkish, but
Oh, okay, that's fair.
mirroralistic. And the Shiv has just got a soft spot.
It's a certain je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, it's got a certain look to it that I just like, and it's still got usability. Because I mean, hell, I've already got the Perseus, I've got the Ironclad, you know, so I've got the couple of the multi-cruise ships. I do want to just load that Ironclad and be able to test and see like how many arrows or how many golems we can fit in that damn thing, because we've kind of already done the math a little bit, and we're just like, that's going to be a lot of mining ships that we can do and other cargo, or how many of them freaking bikes we can load in.
Sorry.
No, I'm just thinking here.
I'm wondering when these are going to start disappearing from my hangar once I get, like, I have roughly 324 of these bikes. And then on top of these, I have another 20 to 24 pulses as well, and they're all Wicklow, by the way. That was so the grind. I had to turn in contracts for these things, running back and forth from the not the ASOP, but the freight elevator to the freaking Wicklow terminal, where you get the contract back and forth before I could actually be awarded the Idris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good. So what? Crafting, engineering. I guess.
I think base building's not far behind.
Yeah, I was about to say, if there's one thing I'd like to see, even if it's a tier 0, base building. Give me base building. It'd be fun. It'd give us something to do. Because like right now, the biggest problem that I have is like when no one's online, there's not like, yeah, I could be going out and just running cargo and whatnot, but I don't know. There's just not a lot to do right now. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's plenty to do in Star Citizen. There's not a lot to do when you're by yourself.
Yeah.
You
so
know.
Let me kind of segue into this. Like, I know we haven't really talked about 4.5 all that much. We've been kind of talking about 2025 as a whole. And we've touched a little bit on the issues that 4.5 has had. Inventory, the server slowdown. There's a few other things in here that are still a bit broken that they need to work on. One of which is mining. I don't know if it's still an issue or if it was just a me thing, but I got my father into Star Citizen. He's absolutely loving the game. He likes being a space trucker. He's dabbled in a bit of salvage. He's dabbled in a bit of actually, come to think of it, I need to make sure he knows how to actually run a salvage ship, because I didn't show him how to print the boxes. He's a smart guy. He probably learned how to do it.
YouTube.
And then I showed him a bit of mining and what he had to do, because I didn't take him out salvaging. I took him out mining.
Okay.
And when we got the mining ship back to a refinery, I went to the refinery and I said, okay, this is how you get the contract going, how you empty out all materials out of your ship, and what you have to do. But when I tried to start the work order, it would not accept. Like, it wouldn't start the process, and it was not an option to just leave it there. So I ended up having to go sell the raw ore without refinery. It's still a pretty penny because we had some Quantanium on board, but I haven't actually looked at the price of the difference between refined and unrefined. But
it's, I want to say it used to, now don't quote me on this, it's been a minute. It used to be like 20K difference.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm totally quoting you on it, but
so something to do with the inventory system I didn't think about.
Yep.
And I was watching a video, and it was from another streamer, and I cannot believe it took me this long to realize when I go to the store to buy something, I have been doing it wrong this entire time. You do not need to go to the storage screen after you buy something. On the left-hand side, when you go to the store, It's just like when you go to a refinery or you're loading cargo, on the upper left-hand corner, it'll say location. You can select your character and have it go straight into your backpack. And he's gonna go test this.
I'm going to Whammers right now, damn it.
Well, no, so like not you gotta have like it's gotta be like an armor screen or like one of those stores.
Well,
you gotta go up to
I'll
the
go out there and
screen.
I'll see. Hopefully these all stay here. This will be a big test of whether or not this is gonna work.
I mean, you're in your persistent hangar, they should.
Yeah.
But I did not realize that. It took me that long to realize that. And the little one's up.
Yeah.
It took me that long to realize that. I'm just like, I've been doing this wrong this entire time. Are you kidding me? Like,
Did they give me a hangar out in freaking Timbuktu? Where's the elevator? There we go.
yes. You were in Timbuktu.
Yeah, a lot of these extra large hangars are out like freaking 3 kilometers from the actual spaceport.
Yeah, but like that's one thing that like they never told us. And it's like, oh, you can just put this straight in your backpack. So like if you go to a place where you can buy like a gun, which I don't think you can do on Orson anywhere. But like
I think there is in Cloudview. There's like some shops and stuff where you can get some basics. No, let's go over here, see if there's a burger that I can buy. Oh, well, yeah, that's true because you can only quick buy here, right?
Yeah, you can only quick buy. You got to go to one of the like location. And
or the terminal.
Yeah, it's got to be an actual terminal, and I'm just like, I did not know this, and I've been doing it. We're got to run back and do it. It takes so long sometimes because sometimes these storage monitors are nowhere near where you buy it.
Yeah,
I'm just like, damn it! I wish I would have known this sooner. And I found that out. I think it was last night. I'm just like, holy crap, you can do this. What? Apparently Blue didn't know it either, so I don't feel
no,
I don't feel bad.
One thing I think is kind of cool with Star Citizen is they give a little bit of mystery.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mystery, so you have to explore. It forces you to actually look and try things out, which I don't mind, but at the same time, the tips and tricks and hints that they post that they have on the little screen that says, "Hey, hit this button to do this." It's not enough. Like in order to find out how to do some things, you have to go on YouTube and be like, "How do you do this?"
Yeah, because someone else has figured it out.
There's no guide to like, okay, so if you're going to a shop, with a lot of like AAA games, if you're interacting with something for the first time, there's a little prompt window that says, okay, you've discovered this. So in order to use this, you can do this or this.
Yeah.
And then once you've done that, you never see that message again.
Yeah.
Which I think is what the tutorial is meant to do. But the tutorial, as we all know, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So,
talk about something that's been broken for quite a while inside Star Citizen. The tutorial.
I think the tutorial's been broken longer than the tutorial's actually been. Longer than the game has existed.
They fixed it a few years ago, and then it borked itself again. So, I get it. It's not something that's high on their priority list. You know, they've got more important things to worry about, and that's Planet Tech V5, the armor systems, all that stuff. So they got a lot on their mind and a lot of more stuff they need to be focused on, and yeah, the tutorial's just not one of them, and that's fine by me because I don't play most tutorials in games anyway. I like to figure it out on my own because that's just what makes it more entertaining. Another thing about being a content creator, if everything's explained for you, you got nothing to explain to your stream.
Yeah. I mean, we could walk through and do tutorials, but it's actually kind of fun. For me, at least, it's a lot of fun to discover the content and discover the things together where you're like, okay, let's try this out. I was actually watching a streamer not too long ago, where she was trying to do some of the Onyx facility missions, the beginner ones, not Hyperion. And she had no idea what she was doing. It was extremely apparent that she had no idea what she was doing. And that's completely fine. There's nothing wrong. I'm not shaming her in any way for like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. Like, it's perfectly acceptable not to know what you're doing because that's part of the game, is not knowing anything in the game, so you can learn and grow and discover this stuff, so you can get to the point where we're at. We're like, dude, this is so cool. There's so many things that we can do.
Yeah.
But I completely lost my train of thought and where I was going with this. But
well, and like that's one of the things is there's
content,
so much to do in Star Citizen that if you've never had it, I didn't. Okay, I'm learning.
Did I just teach you something new?
I've never realized you could buy guns at North. I've never really explored Orison to its crazy. Yeah, so go. So on your upper left.
Oh my God.
Yes. So now buy something and just end up straight in your backpack.
Oh, that's. Oh my God. What the
I didn't know it. I knew you could do it to ships. And I knew every time like we went to sell something, like my persons would show up, but I never thought about it. It never registered as like, hey, this is how you can do it. I'm just like, really?
You can even set it to your legs or your core.
Yeah.
I think I always put, let's see, let's do legs.
So you know what this means for the Wakello shit? Just go to the terminal with some stuff you have and just send it straight into storage that way. May not have to do it in the elevator. I haven't tested that.
Oh my God, check this out. Right to my legs. Oh, actually, I need to buy some of these guys.
Oh, learn something new every day in Star Citizen.
Can I do, let's see, hold on. Armor, let's do miscellaneous. Can I buy the plushies here?
I don't know.
Yes, I can. Okay. Large. I'm going to select backpack. Quick buy. Okay, I need to get a purple one here. Okay. Large buy. It might be asking, what do I need plushies for? Tonight's org night, I think we're going to do some capture the flag, kind of like we did a previous version. By the way, props to CIG for absolutely beautiful Orison, like shopping center kind of thing. There's been a couple of patches where I haven't been able to get in here because I think they closed it because they were tweaking it.
Yeah, probably setting it up like a new Wakello.
Yeah, Stratus Cloudview Center. You go in there, buy some basics. There's not a ton in there, but you know, shop where you can get sustenance and whatnot.
Yeah, and now we don't have to go looking for a damn storage screen.
Dude, the fact that you could send it to your backpack, that is like
yeah, game changer.
Oh.
Now you got something you can make a how-to video for YouTube on. Did you know?
I was this many years old when I found out that in Star Citizen you can send stuff to your backpack instead of sending it to your inventory and having to go get it. That's like,
hey,
that's like
on a game that I've been playing for 10 fucking years. I didn't even know that, and I'm just like, oh my God, I have to mention this.
For an IRL comparison, that's like going on an app on your phone to say, hey, I want to order this for delivery, but in order to confirm the purchase, I have to go to the store and say, hey, I'm confirming this, send it to my house.
Pretty much. Now you can just go to the store, pick it up at the store, and walk out of the store with it in your inventory.
Was that always a thing?
I don't know. I really don't know.
See, this is the great thing about Star Citizen. I've been playing this for about a year. I'm still learning shit.
Oh. Well, shit, folks. I think we're going to end it on a high note there. something you can learn.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I saw that and I was just like, I have got to bring this up tonight. And it just clicked right now. You're talking about inventory and all that. I'm just like, what better time to do it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, guys, folks out in the verse, if you enjoy Star Citizen and you enjoy these talks where me and Blue just go off script half the time and yet we still manage to bring it back to the script, make sure you hit that follow button. We do this once a month. Used to be once a week, but real life got in the way of that. And then now Org Night seems to be, might be start figuring out a different time to do this on Saturdays because now you've got a lot more commitment to Org Night.
It's a bit tricky because they passed off responsibility for Org Night on both Friday and Saturday, which Friday is a bit tricky for me because for my own personal stream, I've got Friday night game night that I do with my regular group, but I got a message on Discord, was it early yesterday or the day before, from Chrono saying, hey, by the way, you're running Org Night. I'm like, what? Okay. So
yeah, hopefully it's not every week, but
oh no, definitely.
Yeah,
I think we're passing it off to somebody else.
I mean, 2025 was a great year for CIG, for the Star Citizen universe, for players like us. I think 2026 is going to be just as a great year, if not better. If they do release crafting and the engineering updates and the inventory updates, which was another thing that popped in my head, why they released the Clipper with a crafting bench, but crafting's not in the game. And they stated that they're not releasing ships without the gameplay loops. So that kind of hinted that crafting was coming sooner than later. High table. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things is if there's something you didn't know about Star Citizen, you might learn it here alongside us. And yeah. So that's all I got for tonight's episode. Blue, I know you're about to hit the go live button, and guys, we're probably going to send you on over to Blue. So make sure you go follow Mr. B Knight. And if you're not already, make sure you follow my channel as well. They are linked down on the page. It is The Evil Tactics. Thank you, Twitch, for not allowing me to remove the "the." And you guys have yourselves a wonderful time. Blue, you got anything for the beautiful people out there?
Like, follow, subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, follow us. Did you hit the record button, sir?
I did hit the record button.
Okay, cool.
Speaking of, for those of you who are probably noticing that a couple episodes are missing on Spotify, I had that hard drive crap out on me. Oops. So, last couple episodes did not go up because they have vanished into the black. So yeah, we're gonna be 2026 is gonna be a new. I'm gonna honestly, I need to stop this as this is the last episode of 2025, even though it is being recorded in 2026. But this will go up as season 2, episode 1 of Citizen Talk. So, kind of like the TV show, we made it 15 episodes as one season. So, this is gonna go up as season 2, episode 1.
I will say Happy New Year to everybody. It's 3 years past, or 3 days past 3 years. Woo, man. 3 days past. But yeah, I'm going to get my my stream ready to go too. So,
yeah. So, all right, guys. Thanks for coming by. See you out there in the verse. And as always, my friends, stay tactical.